Liam clutched his grocery bags from Trader Joe's. The condo entrance was still 100 yards away. He nervously scanned his surroundings. He tugged his beanie down low and walked faster. Living alone had worsened his severe social anxiety. His fridge was empty, forcing this trip. Otherwise, he never left his apartment. The outside world felt like a monster's mouth. Strangers were obstacles to be avoided. He moved carefully, trying to appear normal. He was extremely tense. Chicago's temperature had dropped below freezing. Yet, Liam was sweating under his coat. He only relaxed after passing the building's main door. He paid a premium for this quiet, high-end condo. The new building had few residents. He rarely ran into anyone here. He wondered when he last spoke to someone. Inside the elevator, he pressed his floor button. A hand suddenly blocked the closing doors. Liam's heart jumped. He instinctively retreated to the corner. He lowered his head, a clear sign of avoidance. The scent of whiskey entered with the newcomer. Liam's downcast eyes saw polished black dress shoes. He also saw the cuff of tailored slacks. This must be a tall man. Liam silently guessed, not daring to look up. The elevator doors closed smoothly. The man standing nearby chuckled softly. He asked if Liam also lived on the 24th floor. He explained that he had just moved in. Property management told him they were the only two residents. The man's voice was pleasant and deep. It sounded like aged bourbon. Liam stood rigidly for a moment. He knew he had to respond this time. He struggled to find the courage for eye contact. He kept his head down and mumbled a faint hello. The man introduced himself as Ethan. The new neighbor seemed unfazed by his quietness. Ethan continued speaking in a friendly, warm tone. He asked for Liam's name. "Please stop talking to me." Liam felt like a tightly wound spring. The elevator moved slowly upwards. Cold sweat formed on his back. He blinked, trying to find his voice again. He managed to say his name was Liam. Ethan clearly noticed his neighbor's unusual behavior, but he showed no reaction. He asked if the smell of alcohol was bothering him. He explained it was from a mandatory company party. A bell chimed. It was a sound of salvation. The elevator doors opened. Liam shook his head and whispered that it was fine. He fled before Ethan could say more. He was like a bird escaping a cage. He moved swiftly and disappeared down the hall. The alcohol had dulled Ethan's thoughts. He watched Liam's hasty retreat. He blinked in confusion. His new neighbor did not seem very welcoming. He saw his new neighbor again 2 weeks later. It was late in the evening. The 24th floor hallway was empty. Liam carried a trash bag out his door. The motion-activated light flickered on. A person was slumped against the opposite door. The figure shivered unconsciously in the winter chill. Liam quickly walked over. A strong smell of alcohol hit him first. He hesitated, then gently shook the man. He realized the man was only drunk. Liam felt a wave of relief. The hallway light dimmed again. He stomped his foot to reactivate it. The man stirred and turned over. His handsome face was now fully visible. He was striking even with his eyes closed. Liam had lived for over 2 decades. He finally understood true, captivating beauty. His cheeks grew warm. He noticed a smudge of lipstick on the man's collar. A strange feeling washed over him. It was wrong to judge people, but this new neighbor's profession seemed questionable. He was handsome and came home late. He was always drinking, and now he had a lipstick stain on his shirt. Liam told himself not to be prejudiced. All professions have value. He recalled the man's name. He called out softly for Ethan to wake up. He told him to go home to sleep. Facing an unconscious neighbor, Liam's anxiety faded. He called out a few more times. There was no response. The man was completely passed out. The city's temperature was well below freezing. The cold air in the hallway was biting. His own hands and feet were already feeling numb. If he left his neighbor here all night, it could be dangerous. The man might end up on the morning news. Liam bit his lip. He stammered an apology under his breath. He reached into Ethan's coat pockets. Car keys, wallet, keycard, phone. He found everything except the apartment key. Who forgets their keys when they go out? Liam felt a surge of frustration. He looked at the man sleeping peacefully on the floor. He was in a difficult position. It was too late to call for help. Besides, he had a deep fear of phone calls. The light went out once more. Liam gave himself a small pep talk. He carefully helped Ethan to his feet. The man was indeed very tall. His long legs were now a heavy burden. The scent of alcohol on him was not unpleasant. It mixed with a strong, masculine cologne. Ethan's head rested unconsciously on his shoulder. His breath was warm against Liam's neck. Liam moved with extreme caution. He was tense and moved awkwardly. He dragged the man step by step toward his own door. He felt like a small squirrel in winter. He was dragging a large, frozen bird into his nest. Ethan woke up with a splitting headache. Last night was the company's victory party. Everyone had been determined to get him drunk. He was barely coherent when he left. His remaining caution saved him from a mistake. He had refused to let his secretary drive him home. Office romances were strictly forbidden. He would have to fire her tomorrow. He was lying on a large, comfortable bed. The room was warm. The bed was so soft he could sink into it. A fluffy comforter was pulled up to his chin. He smelled a faint, clean scent in the air. It was a mix of shampoo and body wash. Wait, a thought struck him like lightning. Ethan's eyes snapped open. He was in an unfamiliar room. The room was filled with several large bookshelves. They made the spacious room feel crowded. The curtains were drawn tightly shut. Not a single sliver of light came through. The room's contents were arranged with neurotic precision. Everything was perfectly neat. It stopped just short of feeling cluttered. The color scheme was surprisingly warm and cheerful. Fragmented memories started to surface. His secretary drove him to the parking garage. She had leaned in for a kiss. He almost gave in but pushed her away. He had sent her away and gone upstairs. His last bit of energy was gone. He made it to his door. Then he realized his key was still in the car. Ethan had planned to rest for a moment. He would gather strength to go back down. But he had fallen asleep instead. His key did not magically appear. This was clearly not his new apartment. The door suddenly creaked open. A slender, pale hand appeared first. Then a young man in cotton pajamas peeked in. He had delicate features and a slight frown. His eyes were a gentle amber color. They held a nervous tension. He saw that Ethan was awake. He flinched and quickly looked down. His voice was very quiet. He said that Mr. Ethan was awake. He mentioned that breakfast was ready in the dining room. He added that the bathroom was on the left. He seemed extremely uncomfortable speaking. He sounded less like the host and more like a guest. He asked if Ethan would prefer to go home first. Ethan sat quietly. He listened patiently to the stammering words. He understood the situation now. He smiled slightly. He asked if he could have breakfast before leaving. Shy, a homebody, afraid of interaction, unexpectedly kind and gentle. This was Ethan's impression of his neighbor. The breakfast had clearly been waiting for some time. A bowl of oatmeal and some toast sat on the table. The host had prepared it before he woke up. Ethan usually had a quick breakfast from his secretary. He hadn't had such a comforting meal in a long time. A faint smile touched his lips. His stomach still hurt from the alcohol. The host was not in the dining room. Ethan looked around but did not start eating. He walked quietly to the kitchen. He saw the young man with his back to him. He was at the stove frying an egg. Hearing footsteps, Liam's fluid movements faltered. He did not turn around, but his shoulders tensed up. He seemed to want to cover the exposed skin on his neck. Ethan's attention was drawn to that small patch of skin. It was the pale white of someone who rarely saw the sun. Liam told him to wait in the dining room. He closed his eyes, dreading being in a room with someone. He fought to keep his voice steady. He explained he had already eaten. He was just making an egg for Ethan. His nerves seemed stretched to their breaking point. Ethan felt a pang of sympathy. He immediately agreed and returned to the table. He found the situation amusing. From college to his professional life, Ethan was always pursued. His looks alone attracted attention from everyone. He had never met anyone like his young neighbor, someone who treated him like a dangerous animal. His neighbor's cooking was surprisingly good. The oatmeal was at the perfect temperature. The toast was golden brown. The fried egg looked like a rising sun on the white plate. After serving breakfast, Liam made an excuse. He disappeared back into his room. Ethan was amused. He wondered if he should lecture the young man. He should be more cautious with strangers. But this breakfast was the most relaxing meal he'd had in ages. The starving executive ate everything gracefully. Liam seemed to be watching from his room. He only came out after Ethan had finished. He handed over a neatly folded coat and other items. He told him these were his things. The apartment was warm and filled with pleasant scents. Ethan wanted to stay longer, but he knew his neighbor couldn't handle it. He put on his coat and took his belongings. He dropped his usual ruthless business demeanor. He spoke politely and gently. He said Liam's name. The young man, unused to being addressed so directly, froze. Ethan quickly reassured him. He thanked him for his help last night. He added that the breakfast was delicious. Liam slowly shook his head, not wanting to talk more. Seeing his silence, Ethan knew he should leave. He wanted to pat the young man's soft hair. It would be a gesture of thanks. But he restrained himself. He said thank you one last time. Then he left the warm apartment. The door closed behind him with a soft click. The hallway's biting cold returned. Standing outside, Ethan thought for a moment. His bird-like neighbor was probably breathing a sigh of relief. Ethan's appearance was a small interruption. After sending the stranger away, Liam retreated into his shell. He continued his life of avoidance. He had plenty of work. He wrote novels online. He could draw comics. He was a skilled gamer. He even wrote small programs. His income was substantial. As long as he stayed healthy, he could live like this forever. He worried his neighbor would come to thank him. He was anxious for several days. But Ethan did not appear again. He was relieved, yet a little disappointed. Why was this person like that? Then he felt grateful. His neighbor was considerate. He knew Liam disliked being disturbed. Liam's thoughts were always active. He soon forgot about his neighbor. A few days later, another cold front hit the city. Commuters and students cursed the cold every morning. Liam confirmed a deadline with he realized it was already late. He suddenly thought of Mr. Ethan next door. Given his profession, he probably worked at night. Perhaps he had a complicated past. Liam had been struggling with a new character. Maybe he could find inspiration in his neighbor. After these thoughts, he took out the trash. He heard footsteps on his way back. The hallway light turned on. Mr. Ethan was leaning against his own door. The weather was colder, so he wore a scarf. He looked tired, as if just returning from work. His long legs were crossed casually. His profile was elegant and sculpted. Hearing the footsteps, he turned his head. The light caught his eyes, making them sparkle, transformed into a dazzling smile. He said he thought Liam wasn't home. Perhaps Mr. Ethan was a top-tier escort. Liam's mind wandered at the inappropriate thought. He stared blankly. He asked if he had forgotten his key again. Ethan had just closed a major deal. He had also just fired his secretary. He hadn't found a new one yet. He had been working non-stop for a week. His team was exhausted. Today, he finally had a moment to breathe. On his way out, a subordinate had complained. He joked that Ethan should just put them in a juicer. He was also incredibly tired. He just wanted to go home and sleep. Then he remembered his neighbor. He had not yet properly thanked him. Hearing Liam's soft question, Ethan laughed. The light went out again. He clapped his hands to warm them up. He held up a bag. He said work had been crazy. He couldn't repay the breakfast, so he brought some late-night food instead. He asked if Liam wanted to eat with him. Liam's refusal was on the tip of his tongue, but he saw the man's exhausted face. A thought crossed his mind. Busy. Maybe he had a difficult client. That kind of work must be very tiring. Liam suppressed his surge of sympathy. He subtly avoided Ethan's gaze. He said it was unnecessary. For him to say so many words was rare. He thought Ethan might have waited for a long time, so he stammered a few more words. He said he wasn't hungry. He told Mr. Ethan to eat it himself. Ethan considered for a moment. He walked over to Liam. He handed him the takeout bag. It was still warm. He told him not to be nervous. He bent down slightly, trying to meet Liam's eyes. His tone was sincere. He said Liam had practically saved his life. He was genuinely grateful. But Liam did not look up. He kept his body tense. He told him to take it. Ethan didn't dare get too close. He quickly stepped back. He smiled and said goodnight. He opened his door and went inside. The motion-activated light turned off. Liam opened his own door. He glanced at the apartment number across the hall. Apartment 2402 and 2401 faced each other in silence. He had never met such a considerate neighbor, someone who didn't look at him strangely. He waited for the light to fade completely. Then he whispered a small goodnight and closed his door. Liam rarely went out. When he did, he bundled himself in thick layers. Any exposed skin made him feel vulnerable. He never dared to look up, so he chose to go out only at night. On those few occasions, he would run into Mr. Ethan, sometimes by their doors, sometimes at the elevator. Mr. Ethan's job seemed very demanding. He must have many difficult clients. He was very handsome, after all. He always looked tired. He looked like he could fall asleep standing up. But seeing Liam, he would always perk up. He would greet him warmly. He knew his neighbor didn't like to talk. He never pushed him for a conversation. A simple greeting, a few feet of distance. He created a comfortable space for Liam. Liam had lived in many places across the city. He had all kinds of neighbors. There were overly friendly old ladies. There were noisy students. There were bitter, petty, middle-aged women. He could not control his inner fear. He could not interact with people normally. No matter who his neighbors were, they would whisper, "That young man never leaves his house. What does he do in there all day? He never looks at you when he talks. He looks so timid. He doesn't seem to have a job. Maybe he's a thief? He seems honest, but he's a freeloader. He's old enough but has no girlfriend. He's so strange. Could he be a psychopath? You see them on the news all the time. Keep the children away from him." So Liam became even more afraid of people. Crowded places were like a living hell. He felt exposed even under thick clothes. He had to switch to texting his or... Ethan was the first person who didn't find him strange. Or maybe he did, but he never showed it. So, the next time they met in the elevator, Liam tried. After Ethan's gentle greeting, Liam fiddled with his sleeve. He felt a lump in his throat. His lips parted and closed several times. He finally gathered his courage. He whispered a response, quiet as a mosquito. "Good evening, Mr. Ethan." The elevator arrived with a ding. The sound shattered his fragile courage. He pulled his hat down further, lips tight. He planned to wait for Ethan to leave first. Suddenly, a shadow fell over him. His neighbor, who always kept a distance, stepped closer. Liam nervously backed away. Ethan's familiar, magnetic voice spoke. It held a hint of a smile. "Good evening, Mr. Liam." Ethan said good evening twice. The first was a polite, habitual greeting. The second was a response to his neighbor's effort. Liam was like a squirrel holding its tail. He perched on a fragile, swaying branch. He was wary of every movement around him. A slightly louder sound would startle him. Ethan looked down at him. He remembered the shy face from that morning. He felt a stir in his heart. He wanted to say more, but he noticed Liam's slight tremor. He swallowed his words. He knew when to advance and when to retreat. He didn't want to scare the little squirrel away, so he took 2 steps back. He held the elevator door open. Before leaving, he smiled at Liam's fluffy hat. He said he would see him later. He paused and added a soft goodnight. His office was full of sharp, calculating people. The mental fatigue was worse than the physical exhaustion. That's why he moved to this new, remote apartment. It was quieter here. The recent workload was tough even for Ethan. He smoked half a pack a day. His mood was constantly irritable. But every time he saw his small neighbor, things changed. He would remember the warm oatmeal and fried egg. His mood would melt like snow in the sun. The shy squirrel-like man had no gloominess. He was like the scent of those bed sheets, fresh and warm. For some reason, the office tyrant felt a fondness for his neighbor. After Liam responded once, a new routine started. Ethan would greet him, then wait patiently. He would wait for the young man's quiet reply. Then he would smile and say goodnight before leaving. They mostly only saw each other at night. Sometimes Liam was reluctant to speak, but Ethan was always patient. The snow in Chicago got heavier as the year ended. Liam submitted his work. He went downstairs to get a package. He ran into Ethan on his way back. After their greeting, he had a realization. He had spoken more in these few months than in the past year. Their conversations became slightly longer. So late tonight, an employee's mistake had delayed his work. Liam secretly pulled his hat down lower. He stole a glance at Ethan's handsome face. So Mr. Ethan was a manager of some kind? Then why was he still so tired? Perhaps he had a sick relative or friend. Liam's writer brain spun a dramatic story. He bit his lip, unable to resist speaking. He told him to take care of himself. Ethan hadn't been spoken to first since that morning. He was pleasantly surprised. He replied that work is always tiring. Liam didn't know how to respond. He didn't want to avoid people. He was afraid of interaction. How should he speak? Which tone was correct? Would this sentence make someone angry? Was the other person's tone impatient? Was it kind? Or was it a prelude to anger? Were there hidden meanings in their words? Were nice words just polite lies? His sensitive mind was tied to his self-esteem. Liam had forgotten how to talk to people normally. His nerves were frayed. His mind went blank. His breathing became shallow. Was Mr. Ethan annoyed with him? But Ethan quickly continued the conversation. He said he had been overworking lately. He would rest after this project ended. He thanked him sincerely. Liam's racing heart finally calmed down. He let out a long breath. He clutched his package and nodded vaguely. He didn't want Ethan to see his panic. He stared at the elevator doors. The moment they opened, he rushed out. It was just like their first meeting. Ethan watched Liam's hurried back. After a moment, he couldn't help but chuckle. Liam gradually created a character in his writing. A beautiful phantom who roamed the city at night. He had a special, unspeakable profession. But he was diligent and polite like anyone else. As he wrote, he couldn't help but picture Ethan. He thought of Ethan's gentle goodnights. Was it rude to use his neighbor as inspiration? Maybe he could give it to Ethan as a gift. He wouldn't publish it. Would Mr. Ethan be angry? But he had never seen Mr. Ethan angry. Liam chewed on his pen, troubled. He lost his train of thought. He jotted down a note. His limbs were numb when he stood up. He rubbed his hands together and took a shower. He walked to the window in his pajamas. He peeked through a crack in the curtains. Chicago seemed to be getting colder. The city's workers and students longed for the holidays. The new year was a time for family reunions. Liam felt a sense of emptiness. He knew he would spend the holidays alone again. He stared into the night for a while. He prepared to go to bed. He paused in the living room. He had a strange premonition. He hesitated, then walked to the front door. He counted to 3 and opened it. The hallway light flickered on. Ethan was slumped against his door. It was just like the first time. His tall figure looked like a collapsing statue. His brow was furrowed, his eyes shut tight. His face was flushed and unhealthy red. His breathing was uneven. Liam stood silently for a moment. He couldn't believe this was happening again. The hallway plunged into darkness. Liam sighed helplessly. He walked to apartment 2402. He expertly carried Mr. Ethan home again. Mr. Ethan was sick. His forehead was burning, his breath hot. He was barely conscious. Liam struggled to get him onto the bed. Under the soft lamplight, Ethan's features were sharp. He looked like a marble sculpture. His furrowed brow relaxed slightly on the soft bed. Logic told Liam to call an ambulance. He should take Ethan to the hospital. But he was terrified of phone calls. Ethan lived alone. He didn't know how to contact his family. And he would have to navigate a crowded hospital. No one understood his fear of communication. Liam stared at Ethan's face for a while. He took off his coat and shoes. He pulled the covers over him. He found a thermometer and a glass of water. When he returned, Ethan had curled up. He looked like a child under the covers. A brief smile touched Liam's lips. He gently shook Ethan. He whispered for him to wake up. He told him he had a fever. This time was different from being drunk. Ethan's sleep was light and restless. He was easily woken. He opened his eyes groggily. His long eyelashes framed dark, wet eyes. Even weakened by illness, his gaze was sharp. It was alert and cold. Liam took 2 steps back, startled. Ethan stared at him for a moment. Then he recognized his small neighbor. His expression softened. He glanced around the familiar room. He smiled weakly. His voice was hoarse like swallowing sand. He said he had troubled him again. The low, raspy voice was somehow more attractive. Liam's heart fluttered. He cursed himself for the thought. A blush crept up his face. He fumbled with the thermometer. He asked if he felt very sick. He asked if he had friends to call. He suggested they could take him to the hospital. He spoke very slowly. Long sentences were difficult for him. They came out in fragmented, awkward pieces. He sounded like a child learning to speak. Liam forced himself to finish. He didn't dare look at Ethan's face. It's strange. Isn't it? He thought to himself. Person like me is very strange. Ethan took the thermometer. He propped himself up against the headboard. He watched the rigid young man. His mood, soured by the fever, lifted. He felt a playful urge. He smiled softly. He said he didn't really have any friends. Mister. Ethan sounded like he was sulking. Liam felt an overwhelming sense of pity. Doing that kind of work must be hard. He probably couldn't make any real friends. He bit his lip, silent for a long time. He handed the water to Ethan. He watched him drink with pale lips. He finally made a decision. He would take him to the hospital. Ethan instantly regretted his teasing. He shouldn't have tormented the timid squirrel. He put the glass down. He said it wasn't necessary. It was just a small cold. He asked if Liam would let him stay for the night. Before Liam could refuse, he softened his voice. He pleaded that his apartment was cold and dark. He had no food in the fridge. He might pass out and no one would know. His words reminded Liam of his own experience. He had been sick last year. He had passed out in the bathroom. His or had saved him after 2 days of silence. I have N or who remembers me, he thought. What about Mr. Ethan? He worked a job that forced him to be alone. He probably had no friends here. Liam's heart softened. He thought for a long time, then nodded. He agreed. If he could, he would always choose kindness. That's why he had let a stranger into his home twice. Ethan only had a slight fever. It wasn't as dramatic as Liam thought. He had collapsed from nearly a month of intense work. The workaholic had barely slept. That kind of work can't be good for you. Liam found himself speaking again. His voice held a hint of blame. He told him that health was most important. His voice was always soft and gentle. Even his scolding sounded mild. Ethan felt like he had eaten a marshmallow. It was soft and sweet. He wanted to taste it again. So he smiled and obediently accepted the criticism. Liam found some fever medicine. He went to the kitchen to make some oatmeal. Ethan needed to eat something first. The apartment filled with a warm, comforting aroma. Ethan lay in bed, almost drifting off to sleep. He rolled over. He suddenly realized this was Liam's bed. A feather tickled his heart. He smiled to himself and called his boss. His boss was an old friend. He was surprised by the call. He asked if this was really Ethan. He recalled how Ethan came to work with a broken leg. Ethan told him to cut the crap. He claimed it was a work-related injury. He would rest at home for a few days. Fine. His boss was only joking. He readily agreed. He said the project was done. He promised a celebration when Ethan returned. Ethan mumbled an agreement and hung up. He rubbed his throbbing temples. He tiptoed out of the bedroom. The sweet smell of cooking oatmeal came from the kitchen. He followed the scent. He saw the young man watching the stove. He was quiet and focused. He reached for something and knocked over a spoon. He quickly bent down to pick it up. His pajama shirt was short. It exposed a sliver of his pale, slender waist. It looked like a single hand could circle it. The sight was dazzling. Ethan felt a jolt. His head seemed fixed in place. He stared at the young man's back. His heart beat faster. A rush of heat went through him. It urged him to do something reckless. Liam didn't notice him at the door. He stood up, washed the spoon, and turned. The lines of his profile were soft and smooth. His jawline was surprisingly elegant. He finally saw Ethan. He became nervous and flustered. He gave a shy smile. He asked if he was hungry. He said the oatmeal was almost ready. He added that bland food was better for him. Ethan nodded, his gaze deep. He looked at Liam's pink-tinged cheeks. His throat felt a little tight. He really wanted to ask a question. Mr. Liam, Do you know what it means to let a wolf in? Liam made a small pot of oatmeal. He had forgotten to eat dinner earlier. He hadn't felt hungry then, but the smell of the oatmeal made him hungry now. He planned to eat the leftovers, but the sick Mr. Ethan had a surprisingly good appetite. He finished the entire pot. Liam was a little surprised and a little disappointed. He didn't dare say anything. He watched Ethan finish and handed him medicine and water. His cooking skills were self-taught. He didn't know if his food was actually good, but judging by Mr. Ethan's reaction, it must be okay. The pleasant thought passed through his mind. He stopped Ethan from clearing the table. He told him to rest since he was sick. He said he would clean up. Ethan looked at him deeply, then nodded. When Liam returned from the kitchen, Ethan was on the couch. He was wrapped in a small blanket. Mr. Ethan's tone was always gentle. He said a guest shouldn't take the master bedroom. He insisted on sleeping on the couch. This apartment never had guests. The spare room was used for storage. There was only one bed. Liam didn't know where to put his hands. He wished his pajamas had pockets. He said that Ethan was the patient. Mr. Ethan smiled. He said the fever wasn't that bad. But you fainted. Ethan wasn't sure if he should be embarrassed, or if he should be glad he was brought in. He just smiled helplessly. He said it really wasn't that serious. Liam hesitated. The words "then you should go home" stuck in his throat. He couldn't say them. Would Mr. Ethan think he was kicking him out? Liam subconsciously bit his finger. He remembered Ethan was there and quickly stopped. He shook his head and tried to sound firm. If he wasn't going to sleep in the bed, he should go home. The sofa wasn't comfortable for sleeping. The little squirrel was showing his claws. Ethan was enjoying this, but he didn't want to be kicked out. He obediently returned to the bedroom. The soft bed, the lightly scented covers. The bathroom was clean. It smelled like a forest after rain. Ethan found it hard to believe. Liam had let him into his home twice. He even gave up his bed for him. Did he have some feelings for him too? He was usually a light sleeper, but lying in Liam's bed, he felt drowsy. The medicine was probably kicking in. He drifted off to sleep. A thought crossed his mind before he slept. Liam was a gentler person than he appeared. Ethan was very fit. The illness came quickly and left just as fast. He felt much better by the next morning. Liam made breakfast. He insisted on taking Ethan's temperature. His words were few, his voice soft. But when he was determined, he was unyielding. A recovering Ethan couldn't refuse. Seeing the fever was gone, Liam smiled. It was a faint, sweet smile. It disappeared before Ethan could savor it. Liam returned to his usual self. He kept his head down, avoiding eye contact. As much as he wanted to stay, Ethan knew he had to leave. His sick pass had expired. He finished breakfast and thanked Liam. He changed back into his clothes and left. 10 minutes later, Mr. Ethan was in his own apartment. He took off his clothes and took a cold shower. After the shower, he put on thin clothes. He went downstairs for a run in the cold wind. That evening, there was a knock on apartment 2401's door. Liam looked through the peephole. He opened the door, confused. The handsome Mr. Ethan was bundled in a thick coat. His face was flushed, his lips pale. He looked utterly miserable. "I am so childish. Can I be any more shameless?" Mr. Ethan swallowed his thoughts and smiled. He coughed and asked to borrow some medicine. Liam hadn't expected this. He was shocked to see him sick again. He worried he would collapse again. He quickly let him in. He went to find the medicine he had put away. Mr. Ethan feigned reluctance but entered the apartment. He cursed his own despicable behavior. But he was also satisfied. His goal was achieved. Mr. Ethan's illness became strangely persistent. The man who earned a six-figure salary had everything. Everything except medicine. Every day he would pitifully ask his neighbor for help. He also managed to get free meals. He secretly told his cleaning service to come and go early. Then he took sick leave with a clear conscience. He spent his days thinking of ways to see his neighbor. Liam lived in his own small world. He didn't understand what the respectable Mr. Ethan was doing. He felt pity and sympathy for him. He tried to be as kind as possible. He allowed this neighbor into his shell again and again. He had to admit Mr. Ethan made him feel comfortable. The distance was appropriate, the words restrained. He was different from anyone else he had met. He cherished this neighbor who tolerated his quirks, who listened patiently to his stammering sentences. So Mr. Ethan was sick for 5 days. His boss called, both angry and amused. "Ethan, are you sure it's a cold? It's been a week. What kind of cold is this?" Ethan had just charmed Liam into smiling. Liam was in the kitchen preparing dinner. He leaned against the kitchen doorframe. He watched Liam's back, enjoying the domestic scene. He went to the balcony to take the call. After his boss finished ranting, Ethan spoke. "Tomorrow is Saturday." His boss was confused. Ethan replied politely, "Even though you are the boss, you can't take my weekend. I'll be back at work on Monday." His boss was dumbfounded. Was this still Ethan? The workaholic Ethan? Then he had a sudden realization. He asked if Ethan was in love. Ethan leaned on the small balcony. His gaze crossed the living room to the warm kitchen light. He was silent for a long time. He finally mumbled a non-committal response. In love? Maybe he was still stuck on the first letter. Mr. Squirrel wasn't ready to talk about it yet. Mr. Ethan had not forgotten he was a working man. On Monday morning, he started his day differently. He wrote a postcard. He bent down to slide it under Liam's door. He then cheerfully left for work. Liam usually avoided the front door, but after a week of Ethan's presence, he had a new habit. He waited for a knock that never came. He found himself drawn to the door. That's when he saw the postcard. It had a line of beautiful, strong handwriting. "Good morning, Mr. Liam. The boss is calling me back to work. Have a great day." Next to Mr. Liam, there was a perfect drawing of a squirrel. It was chubby with a fluffy tail. It was utterly adorable. A smile touched Liam's eyes. He carefully put the postcard away. He couldn't help but blame that boss. Mr. Ethan's health was still poor. He was called back before he had fully recovered. He didn't know if his clients would complain. In a downtown Chicago high-rise, a boss sneezed. After a week away, a lot of work had piled up. But Ethan handled it all with ease. He ignored the resentful looks from his assistant. He was in an unusually good mood. He even got distracted and smiled during a meeting. Mr. Ethan rarely smiled so genuinely. His colleagues were shocked. His boss was also surprised. After the meeting, they surrounded him. They asked why he was so happy. Ethan's face turned serious. He asked if they were all bored. The group reluctantly dispersed. Only then did Mr. Ethan secretly savor the memory of Liam's smile. By the time he finished, it was already 10 at night. His boss had also worked late. He brought Ethan a cup of coffee. He rubbed his forehead tiredly. He asked if they were going the same way. He explained his car was in the shop. Ethan typed the last word of an email. He closed his laptop with a sharp click. Then he smiled politely. "Sorry, it's not on my way." His boss was confused. He asked where Ethan was living now. Ethan calmly packed his things. He grabbed his car keys. He said he was living near the suburbs now. He asked why he would drive so far so late. Yes. Ethan didn't bother explaining further. He walked away without stopping. In the garage, his hand on the steering wheel, he finally smiled. It was late when he got home. Even Ethan wasn't shameless enough to disturb him now. He wrote another postcard. He slipped it under his neighbor's door. Then he went to bed, content. "Good night, Mr. Liam. May you have sweet dreams tonight." From then on, Liam received 2 postcards every day. Even when Mr. Ethan wasn't busy, he still received them. A not-so-busy Mr. Ethan was still busier than most. But he would find time to bring small gifts for Liam. Or he would knock on his door. He would ask if he could join him for dinner. At first, Liam was hesitant. But over time, it became a habit. Seeing Mr. Ethan became a habit. Greeting Mr. Ethan became a habit. Speaking and smiling in front of him also became habits. Liam had never received such kindness in his life. Even his mood while writing became cheerful. The quality of his work improved again. The stack of postcards grew thicker. A small pile of heartfelt sentiments. A few days before Christmas, Liam finally saw a less busy Ethan. He came to say goodbye. He said his parents were insisting he come home. He had to leave soon. He asked if Liam was going home. Liam felt a pang of disappointment. He wouldn't see Mr. Ethan, and he wouldn't get any more postcards. He shook his head. He noticed a small cat wrapped in a scarf in Ethan's arms. He looked at it curiously. It was a small orange tabby. It looked only a few months old. Its fur was sparse, and it was very thin. It sat quietly in Ethan's arms, shivering slightly. Ethan explained the situation. A stray cat in the complex had kittens. The others had frozen to death. Only this one survived. He found it when a janitor was about to throw them away. He took it to a vet downstairs. It was clean now. With every word he spoke, Liam's eyes grew brighter. He vaguely understood what was happening. He looked up at Ethan, his gaze clear. Ethan smiled and handed the kitten to him. He said that Liam had taken him in before. He asked if he could take in this little kitten too. He promised to take it back after the holidays. He added that the cat was too small to travel. Liam's expression softened. He carefully took the kitten. He held it like a fragile piece of porcelain. He even held his breath. He said, "Mr. Ethan was a very good person." Ethan smiled without saying a word. He handed him some kitten formula and food. Then he handed him a key. Liam took it, his eyes full of confusion. "The litter box and cat bed are in my apartment. You'll have to go get them." He checked the time. He said he had to go. Liam was stunned. He couldn't believe Ethan would give a key to a neighbor. Before he could refuse, Ethan was already leaving. He called back a Merry Christmas. Liam had thought about getting a pet before, but he always worried he wouldn't be a good owner. He would research everything, then give up. This time, the responsibility fell into his lap. He treated the little tabby like royalty. After a few days, the kitten became a tiny tyrant. It was no longer polite and quiet. It started to climb on him and bully him. Animals were different from people. He didn't find it annoying or frightening. He was just extremely careful with it. Ethan worried about the cat. He asked for updates every day. They spoke on the phone twice. But then Ethan noticed Liam's reluctance. So he switched to texting. Liam's heart grew even softer. Mr. Ethan was a very kind and considerate person. He couldn't help but wonder, when would Mr. Ethan save enough money? When could he leave that company? Someone like him shouldn't have to sell smiles. With these thoughts, the character in his novel changed. Liam tried to correct the story's path, but nothing felt right, so he just let it be. On Christmas Eve, he was alone as usual. He made an extra dish for dinner. He gave the kitten a few extra bites of food. After eating, he held the cat on the sofa. He turned on the TV to watch holiday movies. As midnight approached, his phone rang. It was Mr. Ethan. Seeing the name on the screen, his fear of calls lessened. He answered. He could hear a lively party in the background. Ethan found a quiet spot. His voice was full of laughter. He wished Liam a Merry Christmas. Liam responded softly. The line went quiet. He could almost hear Ethan's breathing. Liam didn't know what to say. He stroked the kitten, which had grown bigger. His voice was gentle. He said the cat was very well behaved today. He weighed it and it had gained half a pound. He was interrupted by Ethan's laughter. He asked if they could not talk about the cat for a moment. Ethan wanted to say, let's talk about you. But he held back. He asked what Liam ate for dinner. Liam answered his questions one by one. Ethan knew his personality. He continued to ask simple questions. Liam would answer each one. Ethan could picture him perfectly. Liam in his soft pajamas, surrounded by pillows. The now brazen kitten purring in his lap. The exposed skin of his neck and wrists. He would look like porcelain in the soft light. The thought made his heart soften. It made him feel warm. Ethan sighed. He looked out at the night sky. After a long pause, he spoke. I'll be back soon. Liam was quiet for a moment, then answered, Okay. Liam thought Ethan would be back soon for the cat, but he was still surprised to hear a knock on his door. It was the morning after Christmas. He opened the door and froze. Was he really that eager to see his cat? The cat-loving Mr. Ethan looked tired from his travels. He brought the cold wind in with him. His hair was damp with melted snow. Seeing Liam, he couldn't help himself. He opened his arms and gave him a hug. Liam's entire body went stiff. He was at a loss for words. Mr. Ethan? Hearing his strained voice, Ethan took a deep breath. He controlled himself and let go. He smiled sheepishly. He said it was a holiday hug. He claimed it was a tradition back home. Liam was skeptical, but besides a moment of shock, he felt no discomfort. So he relaxed his guard. He let Ethan into the apartment. He said the cat was inside. Ethan looked at him and nodded with a smile. That look made Liam's ears burn. They walked into the living room. The now larger kitten was battling the sofa. It was happily clawing at the fabric. Hearing footsteps, it glanced over its shoulder. It clearly had no respect for the mild-mannered Liam. But when it saw Mr. Ethan, it immediately surrendered, carefully retracted its claws. It let out an innocent meow. Liam, ignoring the sofa, picked it up. He handed it to Ethan. The little kitten trembled. It wanted to struggle but didn't dare. It was like a lamb being offered to a predator. Ethan glanced at the damaged sofa. He spoke calmly. When a cat misbehaves, you have to discipline it. You spoil it too much. Liam felt ashamed and looked down. He said he didn't think about it. He thought of it as a child with no family. He just wanted to be good to it. Ethan's gaze softened. He didn't press further. He just stroked the trembling kitten. Liam thought he was taking the cat back. He handed the key back to him. His heart was filled with disappointment. He said he would go pack its toys. Ethan reached out and stopped him. Mr. Liam. Ethan spoke slowly. Would you mind keeping this freeloader a little longer? The busy Mr. Ethan really couldn't take care of a cat. To thank Liam, he insisted on replacing the sofa fabric. He also bought a large cat tree. He spent an entire afternoon assembling it. The instructions were simple, but the very smart Mr. Ethan was bad at this. He kept making mistakes. Liam was anxious watching him. He wanted to do it himself, but he was afraid of hurting Ethan's pride. So he sat quietly nearby with a book. He would read a little, then watch Ethan. The cat was impatient for its new toy. It made a fuss for a while. It rolled around on the floor, played with a ball of yarn. Finally, it fell asleep by the window. As evening approached, Liam felt it was polite. He quietly invited Ethan to stay for dinner. He wasn't sure, but it seemed like an illusion. The moment he invited him, Ethan's efficiency skyrocketed. He even had time to turn and smile. He said that would be wonderful. He mentioned he loved the eggplant dish from last time. Liam nodded blankly. As he walked to the kitchen, he glanced back. The cat tree was already assembled. It seemed a whole afternoon of experience paid off. The holidays ended quickly. Liam didn't understand the pain of returning to work. But when he found a postcard by his door, he was delighted. Life returned to how it was before the holidays. Liam received 2 postcards every day. One in the morning, one at night. But now they had a cat as a common topic. Mr. Ethan would often come over to play with the cat. He seemed to have gotten used to this person in his shell. The big bird he reluctantly dragged into his nest. It had become a frequent guest. It often brought small, surprising gifts. Liam hadn't been this happy in a long time. The joy of receiving postcards and seeing Ethan grew. It crossed some invisible line. Liam was completely unaware. He actively let the wolf into his home. Mr. Ethan was very patient. Even though he had invaded the territory, he was in no hurry. He waited for the clueless prey to walk into his arms. For Liam, these days were perfect. Ethan's presence had stirred the stagnant water of his life. He felt alive again. The orange tabby now had a name. Mr. Ethan named him Squirrel. Squirrel was a very active cat. He was always jumping around, wanting to go outside, so Liam took his first step. He occasionally took Squirrel for a walk at night. It was a quick, nervous walk, but he no longer resisted leaving the house. Mr. Ethan noticed this with quiet satisfaction. He was in a good mood at the office. He didn't yell at anyone for half a month. This made his team even more terrified. They thought he was planning something big, so everyone worked extra carefully. Mistakes decreased. Mr. Ethan was successful on all fronts. The incident happened on a Friday night. Mr. Ethan often worked late, but since he started leaving postcards, he always came home. His boss, showing a rare bit of humanity, let him leave early. He got home at exactly 7. At this time, Liam should be making dinner. Mr. Ethan was planning how to get a free meal. The elevator doors opened. He walked out in a good mood. Before he reached his door, he heard a sharp voice. It was Liam, but distorted and out of control. "You're not welcome here. Please leave." The usually soft-spoken young man's voice was strained. It sounded like it could snap at any moment. Ethan's expression darkened. A strange man in a security guard's uniform stood at Liam's door. His Mr. Squirrel was tense. His eyes were full of vigilance, hatred, and fear. He stood protectively in his doorway. His thin body was shaking. Squirrel the cat was at his feet, fur on end. It let out a low meow. The guard spoke. "Cousin, don't be like this. My mom and I have been looking for you for years. Seeing you in a place like this, you can pay us back now." His words made Liam's face flush with anger. He trembled, his words bitten out between his teeth. "I don't owe your family anything." The guard was about to speak again. A hand suddenly clapped his shoulder. A tall man stood behind him. He wore a suit and tie. His presence was intimidating, his expression cold. He said he knew he wasn't a guard here. He accused him of trespassing. He gave Liam a reassuring look. His voice was icy. "Get out now or I'm calling the police." The man, who looked tough, flinched at Ethan's gaze. He quickly puffed out his chest. "Who are you to meddle in our family business?" Ethan took out his phone to call the police. The man quickly stopped him. "Hey, what are you doing? I'm here to collect a debt. You're Liam's neighbor, right? This is none of your business. He owes my family money." Liam's heart burned with anger, but he was not good with words. His eyes turned red with frustration. Seeing Ethan, he felt both safe and terrified. "Mr. Ethan is here, but this is so humiliating. What will he think of me?" Squirrel the cat calmed down upon seeing Ethan, but he still watched the stranger warily. He looked ready to pounce at any moment. "How dare this human bully my Mr. Squirrel?" Ethan narrowed his eyes. He used his height advantage to look down at the man. "He owes you money? How much?" The man threw out a number without thinking. 3 million. He thought for a moment. "No, 5 million. Before Ethan could speak, Liam couldn't take it anymore. He spoke with rage and a stutter. "I don't owe you anything, liar." The man forgot about Ethan and pointed at Liam. "You ate our food, you used our things. My family paid for your parents' funeral. You ungrateful wolf. Your parents were some fancy PhDs. They raised a monster like you." "Enough!" A vein throbbed in Ethan's temple. He interrupted coldly. "Are you going to leave? Or do I make you leave?" The man ignored him and continued yelling at Liam. The next moment, he couldn't speak. Ethan had grabbed him by the back of his collar. He lifted him off the ground. The usually gentle man's face was filled with fury. He spoke through gritted teeth. "I don't know how you got in here, but you will go back where you came from. And if I ever see you near Liam again," he paused, his face chilling, "you will regret it." He was not joking at all. Not only the stranger, but Liam was also stunned. Ethan let him go. His voice held no warmth. "Get out." The man was terrified. His legs felt like jelly. He scrambled away. Sitting on the sofa, Liam's hands and feet were still cold. Ethan took off his coat. He made himself at home. He poured Liam a glass of warm water. It was April and the weather was warmer. Ethan's well-tailored suit made him look elegant, a stark contrast to moments ago. "Did he scare you?" Ethan's voice was much softer. He stared at Liam's pale face. "I'm sorry. I should have dealt with him in the hallway." Liam managed a small smile, quickly faded into worry. "Mr. Ethan, thank you for helping me, but you will get into trouble for this. Trust me." Ethan winked at him. "As long as I'm not bankrupt, there will be no trouble." Liam forced a smile, his expression worried. "Just now, you didn't know anything. Why did you? I trust you." The firm answer made Liam startle. His eyes suddenly turned red. He lowered his head, taking a sip of water. The warmth spread through him, chasing away the chill. He let out a soft breath. His voice was hoarse. "That person is my cousin." Ethan's expression turned serious. He settled in to listen. "My parents died in a car crash when I was 7. This was the first time Liam had told anyone this. He paused. "My parents both left me money. My uncle adopted me. He used my inheritance to raise me. But he was young and naive. His uncle's family squandered the entire fortune. They treated it as their own. Liam never benefited from it. He always wore his cousin's old clothes. He ate meager meals. He was bullied at school by his cousin. He was beaten at home. That's when his fear of people began. The fear grew like a poison over the years. By college, his communication issues were severe. He only left his dorm for class. If his roommate was there, he would hide behind his bed curtain. Eventually, he couldn't even go to class. He was terrified of crowds. Talking to people was a form of torture. He dropped out of college. He found a place to hide. Liam had a well-known pen name online. He was also a freelance illustrator and a famous gamer for hire. He could support himself. He inherited his parents' talent for writing. He saved for years to buy this condo. That greedy family spent all his money. Now they claimed he owed them. They calculated every meal, every piece of clothing. Liam lived carefully, always ran nigh. He had thought about fighting back, but his fear was too deep. As he spoke, tears welled up in his eyes. They shimmered but did not fall. Ethan's heart ached. He moved closer and gently hugged Liam. He patted his back comfortingly. He whispered softly, "Liam, no one will ever bully you again." Liam didn't quite understand what Ethan meant, but a few days later he did. His cousin's family came again. This time they were not aggressive. They were terrified, bowing and apologizing. Liam was confused and wary. He never fully opened the door. He watched the 3 people who had caused him so much pain. "The money, we will pay you back. Just withdraw the lawsuit. It was a misunderstanding. We're all family. Shut up. Liam, we really know we were wrong. Please." Liam slammed the door shut without a word. That evening, Mr. Ethan arrived with the postcard. Liam had been waiting anxiously all day. The first thing he asked was what he did. He could only think of one possibility. Mr. Ethan had asked a powerful client for help. He imagined his neighbor begging someone for him. The thought made him sick. He didn't feel any joy. How could he? His Mr. Ethan shouldn't have to do that. He shouldn't have to sacrifice himself. Ethan didn't know what Liam was thinking. Seeing his expression, he thought the apology was insincere. He frowned slightly. Facing Liam, his expression softened. He said a friend helped out. That's why it was resolved so quickly. He admitted he owed his boss a favor for this. His words sounded different to Liam, confirmed his suspicions. His eyes widened in horror. Tears streamed down his face without. Ethan was shocked. He dropped the cat and rushed to his side. "What's wrong? Liam, are you okay?" Liam stared at him, tears falling freely. His voice was hoarse and choked with emotion. "Mr. Ethan, from now on, I'll support you. Please quit that job." Ethan was about to be overjoyed by the first part. Then he was confused by the second. Quit? Why? Was his little squirrel worried about him overworking? He overworked voluntarily. Liam hesitated, then wrapped his arms around Ethan's waist. Tears still clung to his long eyelashes. Before Ethan could ask, he buried his head in his shoulder. He sobbed that kind of work was not good. Ethan immediately reevaluated his life choices. He decided he would not work past 9 anymore. He tried to soothe him. "It's okay, I'll try to work less." Liam's grip tightened. His voice grew hoarser. "I'll support you. Please don't do that anymore. Mr. Ethan, I have feelings for you." The confession that had been on his mind was stuck. He felt he didn't have the right to say it. He closed his eyes and changed his phrasing. How much to book you for a month? I can afford it. I can pay for a whole year. You just have to be with me. We can find you a new job." Ethan was stunned for a long time. He finally pieced together the meaning from Liam's broken words. Realization dawned. It explained the pitying looks Liam sometimes gave him. Ethan almost fainted. If it were anyone else, they would be on the floor. But with Liam, Ethan only felt amused. His heart was full of softness and emotion. He gently stroked his back. When he stopped sobbing, he tilted his head up. He wiped away the tears with his warm fingers. "Liam, I think I need to reintroduce myself." Liam looked at him, confused. His eyes were wet and tear-filled. He looked like a sad little animal. This made Ethan soften his voice even more. But it didn't help. As he introduced himself, Liam's face was a masterpiece. It went from white to green, then to red. By the end, he looked like he wanted to die of shame. Ethan Shaw, 29 years old. Finance degree. Head of the investment consulting department at Eagle Financial. He spoke each word slowly and gently. Mr. Liam, you can verify this at any time. Eagle Financial is a well-known firm. It is not a front for a male escort service. It had been 2 days. Ethan sat cross-legged outside Liam's door. He slid another postcard under the door. The postcards were now a constant stream. If he had something to say, he wrote it down. Liam was introverted and sensitive. His pride was paper-thin. After that day, Ethan hadn't seen him. His little squirrel had retreated into his nest, and he had blocked the entrance. Ethan regretted being so blunt. He sat on the soft rug outside Liam's door. He took out another postcard and started writing. The cat is mine. The person is mine. Why can't I see you? At least let me see the cat. Please let me in. I promise I'll only look at the cat. He slipped it under the door. No response. Ethan rubbed his nose. It was time to go to bed. As he was about to get up, the door to 2401 trembled, creaked open. The hallway light went out. The light from the apartment spilled out. Ethan was sitting on the floor. He looked up at the young man silhouetted in the doorway. Liam hadn't expected to find him sitting there. He hesitated, then reached out a hand. Ethan saw that all the postcards had been collected. A smile touched his lips. He took Liam's hand, but instead of getting up, he pulled. The nerdy homebuddy was no match for him. The stunned squirrel tumbled into the wolf's arms. Not angry anymore? Liam's ears were red. He pressed his lips together and tried to get up, but he was held tightly. Ethan held him and wouldn't let go. He asked with a smile if he was still embarrassed. Liam was mortified. Mr. Ethan. Ethan quickly soothed him. He stroked his back. He tentatively leaned closer. He rested his forehead against Liam's. Liam. It was the first time he'd been called that. He was silent for a moment, then gave a tiny hum. Ethan's smile deepened. Are your words from the other day still valid? Liam bit his lip. His voice trembled with frustration. Can you please not bring that up again? But Ethan wasn't teasing this time. His expression was serious. Mr. Liam, will you support me? Liam was silent. Ethan moved closer. I come with one cat. I'm very easy to care for. You're already taking care of the cat. Why not try the person? You've rescued me twice already. We're practically old friends. Liam's breathing was uneven. His eyelashes fluttered. When he spoke, their lips were only an inch apart. Mr. Ethan, do you also? Ethan stared at him. The soft light from the apartment bathed Liam. He looked like an angel in the night. He waited patiently for Liam's brave answer. At the crucial moment, a meow came from the doorway. Squirrel had been waiting for his human. He came out to find them tangled on the floor. He felt indignant. He backed up, gathered momentum, and charged. He swatted the back of Liam's head. Their faces were already close. The cat's what made Liam lurch forward. His lips met Ethan's. They both froze. The cat swaggered away. It glanced back at Ethan with a cool, disdainful look. It seemed to say, pathetic. Took you long enough. Ethan was silent for a moment. While Liam was still in shock, he cupped the back of his head. He kissed him firmly. Then he stood up, lifting Liam with him. He tossed the cat back inside with one hand. He closed the door with the other. He pressed Liam against the cold door panel. He tilted his chin up and kissed him deeply. The little snail was devoured before he could react. He whimpered, Mr. Ethan. Ethan was busy and didn't look up. Changed the name. Ethan. Change it again. Honey, darling, let's work out together tomorrow. Your stamina is terrible. The night passed. Liam never found the right words to stop the spell. After a difficult adjustment period, they were officially together. Apartment 2402 was completely abandoned. Ethan changed his work attitude. He used to work himself to death. Now he had something to come home to. He left the office faster than a rabbit. His boss was very unhappy with this change. Hey, what's gotten into you lately? Ethan didn't even look up. Have I made any mistakes? Well, no. Have I delayed any work? No, not really, Ethan said coolly. Is there anything else? His boss patted his shoulder and left, defeated. Not long after, Liam signed a movie deal for his novel. The company was in Chicago. Liam didn't want to go out, but then he looked at the address. He pulled out the business card Ethan had given him. He realized the two companies were not far apart. The chronic homebuddy's heart started to pound. After a morning of hesitation, he changed his clothes. He put on his hat and carefully went out. He dropped off the documents at the company. He sent a text to his contact. Then he nervously went to Eagle Financial. The receptionist had a warm smile. Sir, who are you here to see? Liam hadn't spoken to a stranger in a long time. He was speechless for half a minute. He felt it was rude to disturb Ethan at work. He shook his head and prepared to leave. The receptionist's eyes suddenly lit up. Oh, are you Mr. Liam? Mr. Shaw said if you came, you could go straight up. His office is on the 4th floor, to the left. Mr. Ethan had given special instructions. He knew him best. Did that mean he hoped he would come? Liam's feet felt glued to the floor. He whispered a thank you. He saw the crowded elevator and took the stairs instead. For floors wasn't high. The stairwell was empty. He was relieved. Then he heard whispers from ahead. Mr. Shaw has been so distracted lately. Yeah, he leaves right after his work is done. I hear he's in a relationship. No wonder. Who would even want that old psycho? Liam stopped in his tracks. He had heard people whisper about him his whole life. He had never cared. But now, a fire ignited in his chest. He couldn't stand them insulting his Mr. Ethan. Mr. Ethan still worked at home. He often worked late into the night. Mr. Ethan was gentle and polite. Liam clenched his fists and found a new courage. He stepped out. His footsteps startled the two gossiping women. He took a deep breath. He stood up straight and looked them in the eyes. His speech still stuttered, but his words were clear. Mr. Shaw works very hard. He has a good temper. He only gets angry when mistakes are made. He is not a psycho. He is a good person. The two young women's expressions went from shock to amusement. They burst out laughing. Where did this little fanboy come from? Liam pressed his lips together, his expression cold. His stare made them uncomfortable. They turned to leave. As they did, they froze in terror. Mr. Shaw. Liam was startled and stepped out. Mr. Ethan was standing there. He looked sharp in his suit. He glanced at the two women. Then his gaze fell on Liam. Slacking off during your internship? You don't want the job? The two women blushed and ran away. When they were alone, Ethan reached out his hand. His expression was gentle. The receptionist called me. I guessed you would take the stairs. Liam said his name. That's just jealousy of my happy love life. Ethan smiled. I heard everything. My Liam looked so handsome defending me. Liam just felt foolish. His cheeks were burning. Did you come here just for me? Liam walked with him towards his office. He nodded. Ethan's heart was full. He felt he could take on 10 difficult clients at once. He ruffled Liam's hair. I have snacks in my office. and a laptop with games installed. "Stay with me today. We can go home together." He held Liam's hand naturally. The surrounding employees only dared to glance quickly. They would greet Ethan, then go back to work. Liam's breathing slowly returned to normal. He blinked. As long as Ethan was there, the world didn't seem so much like hell. He had opened a path to the world for him. His tense shoulders gradually relaxed. He tried to act normal. He ignored the subtle glances and whispers. His palm was sweaty. Ethan squeezed it tighter. That was his source of courage. Liam squeezed back. Each step felt like walking on clouds. He followed him into his office. He met his gaze, nodded, and smiled slightly. Yes, the forgotten cat angrily destroyed the apartment.